Bustle. Giving a shout out right now to SPR, Sparta Road. Y'all already know what it is. Sauce in that Bustle. Big shout out to SPR, Sparta Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Man, how ironic is it for your name to be Young Bleed, to basically be out the spotlight for quite some time, long time, bro. Get a moment to shine, and then a brain bleed? Man, that's just the irony, and that is crazy, man. Rest in peace to Young Bleed. With no further ado, let's see what they say he had been up to. They say it's quite mysterious, very mysterious. Too young for that, that's crazy.
Hey, yo, what's up with it? It's your boy, Young Bleed, Mr. How You Do That there himself.
You grew up in Baton Rouge?
Yes, sir, the South Side Bottoms, man. G Street, man. Yeah, the G Street.
Once he collapsed, he did pass from the aneurysm, the bleed to the brain. We don't know, at least right now. And when they called me and gave me all the news, I don't know much about aneurysm, so I'm not sure if there's something that he been had or how that works.
Say, bruh, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the brother of New Orleans. Dig this year. In the early 80s, the streets was deadly. Bodies dropping, corners crowded with people hustling, trying to make bread. That's when Glenn Clifton Jr. came up. Before the world knew him as Young Bleed. Southside living was rough. One grocery store, too many liquor stores. Kids learning quick how to cook up coke before read books. Bleed mama was different. While neighbors argued over bills, she read poems out loud, making words make sense. She showed him language could feed you if you knew how to cook it right. At 9 years old, Lil Bleed was already filling up notebooks, paper bent, pencils worn down, rhymes written like blueprints for getting out the hood. The block outside was dangerous, sirens, shootings, arguments, shit that turned serious real quick. But that boy Bleed kept stacking lines instead of getting lost in the mix. To Bleed, versatile like armor, he learned.
I still got backpacks full of raps. When I go look at them, I was writing them damn near shorthand, the majority of them, assuming I would eventually record them in a time recent enough where I can kind of understand where I was coming from. But a lot of it I can't even quite make out. Some of it I can, but I got pages and pages and notebooks of rhymes and backpacks. I don't even think that up and coming artists get down like that no more.
Early, that talking slick was one thing, but spitting dope lyrics was another. Back then, Baton Rouge wasn't anybody's music style. You had to build from scratch. Rappers pressed their own tapes, did their own covers, and hustled out Cartrons. Every show was promotion. Every handshake was a sale. Lee jumped in with that ambition and drive. Steady voice, steady stare, no hype needed. He walked into a hole-in-the-wall club, grabbed a mic, and had a crowd leaning forward. Mid-90s, he linked with concentration camps, CeeLo, Ax Manili, J-Vaughn, a few more grinders. They shared equipment, pooled studio money, and pushed Baton Rouge rap like it was a team sport. Out that movement came How You Do That there. That track had bounce for dancers and real talk for hustlers. Bleed's voice slid on it smooth, confident, and street sharp. That song moved fast. Local DJ spun it, Paul shook with it, and word reached New Orleans. Master P heard the track and saw the potential. Limit was already taking over, and Bleed fit the roster perfectly. They remixed How You Do That there for the I'm About It soundtrack in 97. And just like that, Baton Rouge had a seat at the table. The next year, Bleed signed with No Limit through Priority Records. In 98, he dropped My Balls and My Word. The title said everything. Stand on what you say and say what you mean. The album cracked the Billboard Top 200 at number 10, hit number 1 on the R&B hip-hop chart, and went gold. First Baton Rouge artist to do that with a major. BR was standing taller than the Statue of Liberty. What made that boy Bleed different was his delivery. He didn't yell. He let words land slow, like a man who'd been through enough to stay calm. He talked loyalty, family, ambition. How You Do That there and The Day They Made Me Boss became anthems. His voice sounded like the block talking back with discipline and witty lyrics. That boy dropped game in between lyrics, sharp enough to cut tension. Lines like money short, dream tall. That shit right there was real. In 99 came My Own. The name fit candid, more personal, less industry polished. Songs about trust, betrayal, standing alone. It didn't sell like the debut, but it showed growth. Around then, No Limit was stretching thin. New signees. Bleed knew when to move. He didn't argue. He walked. Independence before dependence was fashionable. Don't let that one right there go over your head. Early 2000s, everything flipped. Labels merged. Radio tightened. CDs replaced tapes. Bleed stayed on course though. He connected with Sebo, West Coast Mafia Records, and dropped the rise through the ranks from Erna to Capo in 2005.
Shout out Sebo. I ain't realized that. That's hard.
Ride alone, message shorts, earn yours, no PR, no gimmicks, just grind. Song told story about pressure, patience, small wins. That boy dropped more game on this one, yeah. Wired on a diet, drive on full, and keep moving. Once upon a time in America, spelling was a choice, a twist for a reason. Album touched on politics, neighborhood money, and day-to-day weight folks carried. It sounded seasoned, not tired. Bleed wasn't trying to sound current. He was all about keeping it real. By 2011, he linked with Strange Lane under Tech 9 Stranger Music umbrella. Drop preserved, perfect title, still here, still sharp, but behind the booth.
The West Coast looked out heavy. Well, Tech wasn't really from the West, but yeah, I guess, yeah.
Business turned messy. Paperwork went sideways. Managers argued. Bleed did what he always did. Took control back and walked away clean. That move right there birthed Trapdoor Entertainment. His own setup in Biara. No middlemen. In 2017, he released Living, a project about gratitude and scars. You could hear years of grind in his tone. Rough edges. Clean conscience. In 2020 hit, and he dropped Signs and Wonders. The world was wild, but Bleed spit like a man who had already seen turbulence, learned how to control the movement inside of it. By then, he didn't chase spotlight. He built foundation. Younger Baton Rouge names like Boozy, Gates, Youngboy carried his influence, whether they say it or not. The mix of melody and grit traced back to him. That boy never bragged about influence. He just kept working, talking about craft like it was his therapy. Then
Sure thought this was about to be about the death. It's a lot more about the life. But it is what it is. 504 Street Store, you know how he get down.
came 2025. The scene was busy, streaming numbers running the game, but Bleed stayed in motion. October bought the big one, No Limit versus Cash Money in Las Vegas. Two New Orleans legends facing on stage. The crowd was packed with generations of fans. Bleed stepped out energy on 1,000. No fireworks, just his presence. People realized quick they were not watching nostalgia, they was watching respect. After the show, things changed fast. Word spread that Bleed suffered a brain aneurysm hours later. 1 minute he was performing, next he was in intensive care. The internet ran wild, posts claiming what hadn't been confirmed yet. R.I.P. Shit like that. Family spoke up. They asked for the truth. Quiet dignity. He was alive, fighting. No R.I.P. needed yet. BR showed up. DJ spun his catalog. Fans sent out prayers. Inside the hospital room, the machines and monitors kept steady. The same determination that built his career ran through that space now. Here's the dodging shaded deals, hustling in the shadows, self-owning his sound. Those years became more than past chapters. They became ammunition. This was also when the internet showed its ugly side. People who never knew him started pushing false stories about Bleed being dead like they were actual facts. Every post chased attention instead of the truth, but the timelines kept running its mouth. In this era, rumors move faster than real life news. That moment right there proves how disconnected the online world had become. People trying to collect likes off somebody else's pain, telling lies like the man did. The world once knew better. They kept quiet, waited for facts, and prayed in silence. In VR, people remember what he meant. Car speakers played How You Do That there, not for nostalgia, but for strength. Overheads retold the story of buying his tapes out of trunks. Some fans discovered the catalog, realizing the voice they heard came from the city's grit. Baton Rouge claimed him not just as an artist, but as a legend. His records told his path, from the kid on the steps with a poem in his ear to the teenager hustling his own tape. The man with a gold record, that independent, serious voice. From label deals back to homegrown ownership, each phase showed the same theme. Stay true, stay smart, speak your real. That boy never never chased trends, he carved his own lane. Kept it grounded so the struggle never looked like a highlight reel. Real talk for real people. The world watched his 2025 chapter with both sorrow and respect as he passed away.
A rapper from Baton Rouge died from a brain aneurysm weekend. His family says the rapper, whose real name is Glenn Clifton Jr., checked into a hospital after a rap battle in Las Vegas on October 25th. He suffered from a brain aneurysm and died in the hospital Saturday. Clifton's mom says his death has turned her family's world upside down. The family has started a GoFundMe to pay for his medical and funeral expenses. You can find a link on our website.
The city, the fans, the people who grew up on his records, this was the moment to give his flowers. He didn't need the applause after. He earned it before. From a Southside kid to national chart breaker, from major label to self-ownership, from local cassettes, hustle to legacy stamp, his journey showed that staying real matters more than going viral. He didn't just make hits, he made classics for people moving through these streets. Glenn Clinton Jr., aka Young Bleed, leaves behind more than music. He leaves a blueprint for anyone from around here who looked up and said, I'm next. He leaves a voice that carried truth, laughter, pain, ambition, poetry. He leaves a city proud, a culture sharpened, and a memory locked in. Also born, word raised, chart proven out the South Side to worldwide. Then back home to his own path. His voice may be silent now, but his mark stays loud. Baton Rouge still stands with his name. The streets feel his presence. Generations still hear his cadence. Flowers now, respect always. Young Bleed, thank you for every line, every lesson, every moment you poured your real onto these tracks. You told your story. You carried your fight. Now you got your flowers as promised. Rest in peace.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty G. Ramon Clifton. And today we're gonna be talking about my dad, Glenn Reed Clifton Jr., also known to the world as Young Bleed.
He had just said he left behind more than music. I was wondering, I just assumed he was going to start talking about kids. And then he went on to talk about a legacy about industry-wise. And then I was wondering if he had kids, and here this young man come. Condolences to you, youngster.
As of November 1st, my dad gained his wings, you know. This is a tough topic for me. Not sure how it's gonna go. But I'm here to clear up a lot of false narratives. There's a lot of things that were said and just a lot of mess. You can't address everything on social media, so that's not the plan. But I know with him being a legend worldwide, a lot of people were concerned for him. They wasn't sure of what they heard. So
I'm going to say it. Brain aneurysm, especially from that area, sound like he might have been playing with his nose. Now I'm just assuming that's what he gonna try to clear up.
I'm here to confirm, as his oldest child, that he has gained his wings. My dad was 51 years old when this happened to him. He's born June 6, 1974, and you know, that's so we have the official date, because I saw his name was, I saw his age was printed out wrong. So, the big question, what happened? So my dad didn't have no real health issues. These are just chapters in life. And I hope after this video, the people that have went through the same thing or going through grieving moments find peace in this video here.
All I can say is, man, if you go to the history of the black box, it seems like we somewhat have been documenting the trend of the early deaths of black men. 60 definitely seems to be a cap, and not many seem to be making it past 50 these days, to be honest. But rest in peace, Young Bleed, man. That's interesting. It's scary, especially for those of us right around that age, man. We still gotta say, Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Pay attention to your health, y'all.
Por favor, abre a porta do elevador. Eu tô com um pouquinho de medo, mas eu sei que o Senhor cuida de mim. Amém.
Wasn't that personal? Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.